Hello men everywhere. Some of you may be unfamiliar with what I'm doing. We call this ironing, and I'm going to explain why it's good for you. Some men may consider ironing unmanly, but do you know the first thing they teach you on joining the French Foreign Legion? Ironing. If there's one thing they consider more important than the ability to kill a man with your bare hands, it's looking smart. American research established that women are keener to have sex with men who do housework than men who don't. I don't know about that myself, but one thing I am sure of, they're less likely to shout at a man who does housework. I started doing ironing because I used to have a lot of arguments with my wife about housework. A lot of men have arguments with their wives about housework, and I wrote a book to try and stop it happening. It's called How to Get Things Really Flat: A Man's Guide to Ironing, Dusting and Other Household Arts. My wife used to do all the ironing, and she would do it on Sunday night when I went to the pub. Every Sunday I'd say, "I'm off to the pub," and she'd say, "Have a nice time." She'd start doing the ironing. But then our children came along, and that meant a lot more ironing. I'd say, "I'm off to the pub," and she'd say, "Yeah, I know." Now, being quite psychologically acute, I suspected that something was wrong. So I said, "Tell you what, I'll do the ironing." She took it pretty well. I do about 4 hours a week, ironing, that is. And my tool of choice, a Philips man iron, made specially for men. Very, very simple controls, and it's black. And it works. Most men I know never do any ironing. And some will even go to the extreme lengths of wearing a V-neck jumper to cover up their crumpled shirt. But I ask you, does James Bond wear a V-neck jumper? And there we are, a fully ironed shirt. A well-ironed shirt deserves to be, I was going to say well hung. Do use a proper wooden hanger, not some wire thing that looks like the aerial on Del Boy's car. And make sure to button up the top button when you put it on. That way, with luck, it might still be looking ironed in the morning.